Uber Uniques in Diablo 4 are the ultimate power fantasy, and now with Season 2 we're finally able to reliably get them. Uber Uniques are the most powerful equipment you can possibly get in the game. In order to do this, you'll need to farm Helltides, Whispers, and 3 of the new endgame bosses, Gregor the Galvanic Saint, Varshan, and Duriel the King of Maggots. In this guide, we're not only covering how to farm them, we're also covering the quickest methods for getting your first Uber Unique. Let's get right into it. Before you start farming, you'll first need to get into World Tier 4 by completing the Capstone Dungeon, the Fallen Temple, or the new endgame bosses, and for speed farming in general, consider getting your character maxed out in level, at least cap your resistance to poison and lightning, and get some good item power 925 equipment. Gregor is an endgame boss in World Tier 4 located in the Hall of the Penitent that you'll need to defeat to collect Shards of Agony, one of 2 summoning items needed to summon Duriel. Gregor takes 5 Living Steel to summon, and Living Steel comes from farming Helltide. Helltide is unlocked in World Tier 3, but because Living Steel only drops 1 at a time in World Tier 3, I recommend only farming Living Steel in World Tier 4. Helltide is an event that is active for an hour and then down for an hour and 15 minutes. Defeat enemies in Helltide to collect Aberrant Cinders. To get Living Steel, we'll need to find the tortured gifts of Living Steel. To make this easier, I use the website helltides.com, which tells me every time a Helltide is starting, and also predictively where each Living Steel chest is. Once you find a Living Steel chest, you'll need to untether the mini-boss, defeat them, and then open the chest, which costs 300 Aberrant Cinders. Each chest will drop 3 Living Steel, and in rare cases, sometimes more. There is a way to farm Living Steel much faster though, by taking advantage of the Helltide timer, which allows us to collect up to 12 Living Steel in a single run of Helltide. Here's how to farm 12 Living Steel in a single run of Helltide. First off, it's extremely helpful to know where to farm Aberrant Cinders quickly. I prefer areas that I either know have high mob density, or specific types of mobs that spawn in larger packs. For this, I usually farm around the edges of Helltide regions, or areas that specifically have spider type enemies or cannibal type enemies. Areas that have narrow pathways can also be a great source of mob density and ease of farming for Aberrant Cinders. I generally stay away from large open areas since groups of enemies can be harder to locate. To get this trick to work, it's incredibly important to understand the timing conventions for Helltide. Helltide is always up for an hour and down for an hour and 15 minutes. This means that Helltide will always be offset by 15 minutes with every new Helltide. The Tortured Gift of Living Steel will reset at the top of every hour, meaning if your Helltide started at 4:30 and will end at 5:30, you'll have before 5 to collect a set of 6 Living Steel, and after 5 to collect another set of 6 Living Steel. This can be incredibly difficult if a Helltide spawns at the 45-minute mark, because you'll have 15 minutes to collect 600 Aberrant Cinders in order to get the full 12 Living Steel. Doing 4 Helltides in a row using this method can realistically get you 39 Living Steel, which is 1 Living Steel short of 8 summons of Gregor, and 4 summons of Uber Duriel. Here's a summary of how many Living Steel per Helltide depending on the Helltide start times. Varshan is the other endgame boss in World Tier 4 and is located near the Tree of Whispers that you'll need to defeat to collect Mucus Eggs, one of 2 summoning items needed to summon Duriel. Varshan takes 4 summoning items to spawn: Gurgling Heads, Blackened Femurs, Trembling Hands, and Malignant Hearts. To farm these summoning items for Varshan, you'll need to complete Whispers and turn in your Grim Favors at the Tree of Whispers. Opening a cache will randomly drop the summoning items needed for Varshan. If you have too much of one body part, you'll be able to swap these out through the Alchemist by purchasing body part caches. The problem you'll run into is having a shortage of Malignant Hearts. Here's how to farm Varshan summoning items easily and quickly. To collect 8 of the easiest Grim Favors, head over to the PvP area located here. You'll want to defeat the Seething Abomination, which takes about 30 seconds for an easy 5 Grim Favors. Then head over to the Altar of Hatred, which takes another minute to complete for another 3 Grim Favors. And here, you'll want to complete every Legion event or world boss that is marked as a Whisper. Completing these will not only give you 3 or 5 Grim Favors, but they'll also spawn something called a Grotesque Debtor. Multiple of these enemies can spawn, and each one of them will drop Varshan body parts. This can also happen from completing Whispers anywhere, but from what I've noticed, there's only a small chance for them to spawn outside of world bosses and Legion events. Keep your eye out for this indicator on the minimap, or by this summoning animation that indicates a Grotesque Debtor is about to spawn. One of my favorite ways to collect 10 Grim Favors is running Whisper dungeons. I clear these out by focusing just on the objectives for the purpose of getting the 5 Grim Favors for completing the dungeons. After farming Gregor and Varshan, you're ready to summon Duriel. Each summon of Duriel is going to require 2 Mucus Eggs and 2 Shards of Agony. Head over to the Gaping Crevasse in southern Kyrgyzstan, and after a short distance you'll be at the summoning altar. Being well geared and maxing out your poison resistance is highly recommended for surviving this fight and doing enough damage to to kill Duriel. Use a poison elixir to further increase your poison resistance by raising the cap. Preferably, you'll want to do this with a group of people that each have their own set of summoning items. This way you'll get 4 times the chances at finding an Uber unique. You can find other players by using the official Diablo 4 Discord and going to the Looking for Group Bosses channel under your realm type. Here's a fast guide for fighting Duriel. When Duriel burrows into the ground, he'll come back through the craters in the stage along with adds. Duriel's adds will act as turrets, remaining stationary. Both Duriel and the adds do high poison damage. Dodge the maggots that fall from the ceiling, they hit pretty hard. When Duriel rocks back and forth, dodge behind him to avoid projectiles. When Duriel charges an attack like this, Duriel will grab and eat you. When he pierces the ground, poison will erupt from the ground, creating poison areas where they land. And that's pretty much it. If you found this guide helpful, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, good luck, and have fun.